There we go. There, much better. Alright, now we'll go to the Discord, as we do. Let's see. I was just thinking that I wanted to do a nice, calm, soft, nice little stream before bed. I don't really expect anyone to show up, which is kind of weird because I haven't really streamed for just myself before, but I guess this is kind of more like a podcast type thing. If chat shows up, then that's cool. If not, no harm done. I just kind of wanted to sit and talk and process, kind of get some feelings out before I went to bed, because that can be rough. So we're just hanging out, we're just vibing. It does feel weird not to look at chat. It's fine. I'm gonna close the chat window, and if somebody wants to show up, then that's their prerogative. Okay, my kind of goal with this one, I was watching this old Wilbur VOD, and a bunch of the comments were like, I watch this to fall asleep, or like, this helped me calm down. And I was like, I could do that, and also I could just sit and talk to myself like he does. So I am once again basing my persona off of other creators, but also like mimicking is the highest form of flattery, yada yada. I wouldn't be doing any of this, and I'm glad that I started doing it if I didn't watch other people and go, I can do that. So I think that's important. I think that being like a ripoff of someone is only bad if you don't have your own ideas. Like, most of my music is very reminiscent of the songs that I like, but it's also based on my own experiences, and it's not just like stealing other people's song ideas. I think that's important, to have your own like unique thoughts and that kind of things. I was actually kind of thinking about writing a new song, but I stopped it because I haven't finished the Goggy song, and I need to finish the Goggy song, but also like I might just write it anyway. Songwriting is weird because for me, I want everything to be perfect, and I get really, really hypercritical of my stuff while I'm writing it. And so like I'll hit a point with a song where it's like, this is bad. Like, this is not good. And I'll just like scrap it. Honestly, I haven't had as much time to write music as I wish I had. Like I wish I could take more time to write music and exercise that creative bone. I've been really going through a rough patch lately, and like part of it is because I overcommitted, right? I overcommitted myself and burnt myself out. But the other part is that I really didn't let myself express myself creatively that much. I think that's a really, really important part of my mental health and like how I interact with the world. That like without that, I'm kind of sunk in a few ways. But hopefully school's over really soon. There's a lot that I need to do to get my life in order, but hopefully music is a part of that. I mean, it will be a part of that whether I want it to be or not, but like intentional time with music that can be spent like being actively creative and emotional, and like, because I've been realizing that like I'm emotionally aware, but I'm not emotionally available. Well, it's complicated. I'll probably write about that at some point. Semi's here. Work at home is very hard to pull off, so it's the same with content creating. You gotta know when it's time to take time for yourself. Yeah, that's true. I think though, and again, I base a lot of my stuff off of ADHD research, because learning I had ADHD was like, duh. A lot of people with ADHD work from home because the dopamine based system and workflow is a lot more inconsistent and doesn't work well in an office environment, which can be overstimulating. I've definitely felt that. I think I need to look into personal finance, which is really important. But if I can take time, like, I think the biggest thing holding me back from doing content creation and really investing myself in creativity is that I don't believe it's viable as a career. Like, I've always told myself that I want to have money saved up before I do music full time and that kind of stuff. But it's also like, music is the type of thing where you gotta just kind of let yourself take a leap. I'm not sure if I'm at that point yet. I'm wondering, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm considering dropping out of school, at least for a semester or two, to kind of get my feet back, experiment more with streaming, put more effort into it, buy an actual PC that can handle streaming, and also like invest in better equipment in general, make an actual setup, have a schedule set up on Twitch or somewhere with like an actual like PayPal account so people can donate, and maybe start actually making money from streams. But also like spending time on music, where it's like, music just takes so much time. If you want to do it well, you have to like get into rhythms with it. And if I have something else going on, I cannot focus on music. Like, I need to be in that headspace. And I like guilt trip myself too, which is not good. Also, anybody watching the VOD or watching this now, drink some water. Do it. If you don't, you're a coward. Water is good for you. Drink it. Let's see here. I was kind of writing a Tebo song, and then I realized that it sounded like a whole bunch of other stuff. Drinking coffee water. Semi, I'm disappointed in you. Do better. I was working on a Tebo inspired song, and then I got in my head about it, so I wouldn't let myself finish it. Because it was like, it sounded generic, it wasn't like that inspired, it needed more chords to it. But maybe I could challenge myself to finish it as like taking my own medicine. I always say it doesn't have to be good, it just has to exist. So if I make myself finish this, and I make it exist, then maybe that's for the better. I don't know. I do have future plans with my music. That hit surprisingly deep in my soul when you said that. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it could resonate. I do a lot of thinking, and I'm glad to say it out loud. I mean, I think it's very, very my biggest detriment. I would have 2 full studio albums out if it weren't for my own self-doubt and overwhelming myself. I've been saying I'm gonna release an EP for literal years, like over 2 or 3 years. All the songs are written, but when it comes to the actual recording and production process, I get into my head about it, and I don't let myself finish it, and I don't let myself release it. And it really just comes down to like discipline, but mainly confidence. Like, that's the biggest thing with, like, if you look at streamers and stuff like that, like, if you look at people who are successful and you compare them to people who aren't, the biggest common ground is the people who give up and the people who don't. And obviously, like, some people give up for good reasons, and that's not a bad thing. I don't think that giving up is entirely bad. There are lots of things I gave up on that were good choices. Like sometimes you reach a point in your life where you want to do something different, and that's good and that's okay. But then also, if there's something that you're genuinely passionate about and you're not letting yourself work on it, like that's a problem, and you deserve to like let yourself be happy in that context. Which has been hard for me to like let myself realize, but it's important. Again, with music, it's like you could do music and like be happy, and it's like, but I have other stuff to do. It's like at a certain point, maybe it should come first because it's like a self-care thing. Obviously, that doesn't apply to everything, but like if it's a creative outlet, I think that creativity should be a priority. Yeah, I think it's really important. There's also like, I don't know, with my stuff, streaming has been very, very good with my stuff, like for my stuff, because my favorite part of music is performance. I love getting the feedback from people, and like I love being able to actually touch people, like with music, obviously, make them feel something, and I just want to be able to connect with people on that level. But when I'm in my head producing, there's nobody to bounce off of, and I'm in my head and I'm like in my echo chamber. Right now, I'm kind of stuck on this one song because I'm not confident about a key change, and everybody who listens to it says it's good, but at the same time, it's like, okay, are you saying that because I'm showing it to you and you're my friend, or is it genuinely like jarring or not? Because I can't tell from an unbiased perspective. So it's like, I just have to have the confidence in myself, like I said before, to take that leap and try it and let myself do it. But that's scary because like I don't want to release music that's bad. But I guess that's going against my own mantra, right? If it doesn't have to be good, it just has to exist. It's okay if it's bad, which is terrifying. I don't want something I create to be bad. I never want something I create to be bad. That's another thing I like about live streaming. I can't overthink it too much, because if I start overthinking, I will just not finish it, because it's like, this is not good enough, and like nothing's really ever good enough. I love doing YouTube, I just don't have the will to do it 90% of the time. I mean, if you don't have the will to do it, then like it's probably not your thing, which is fine. Like, it's stupid easy to burn yourself out or hyper focus with creativity too. I hate half the stuff I make it work, and it just sucks to work with perishable products and time limits. Yeah, that's true. That's that was something that I liked with my song production class. It was like last semester, he gave us projects to mix that were like recorded by other artists, and we had to go through and do all of the mixing and mastering. And when it's that, I can think about it as a commercial thing where it's like, does this measure up in a commercial environment? Like, I have a quantifiable, is this good or bad, in the context of, if someone was listening to this, would they stop listening because it's uncomfortable? And I've noticed too, and something that annoys me because I'm jealous about it, is that lots of people, like in the consumer world with music, do not have high standards when it comes to what their songs sound like. So many people get popular on TikTok from just a demo that was recorded in their bedroom with an untuned ukulele that people just latch onto because the emotion's there and real. Like, I had a really big like emotional resistance to the song Sweet Hibiscus Tea, which I've actually sung a few times on stream, because like the recording of it hit too close to home, because it sounded like when I was recording songs that I was writing and like working on, and I was like, this is not fair because she's getting millions of views by just posting this thing that I won't let myself post. And it's like, that's annoying. Like, and the answer is, I can let myself off the hook and release stuff that I don't think is great, and people are gonna love it. But at the same time, it's like, what's my line? Like, what's my barrier to entry? And I think that there's just a certain amount of polish, but also that's an excuse not to do it. Again, like, that's just an excuse not to try. Is that the name of something? Excuses not to try? I'm sure it is. I've definitely seen it somewhere. But there's always going to be excuses. Like, there will always be reasons. And it's about pushing through those. I think that makes you really strong. Comparable product versus something you create like a brainchild. It's hard to separate that and distance yourself from your inner critic. True. Yeah. Yep. Because, like, if it's my piece of art, then it's like, it could always be better. It can always be different. I'm always going to look at it in a certain way. Emotionality is a key part of music. I usually stick around for the lyrics that I can connect with, but the instrumental still has to be good, otherwise it doesn't connect. That's true. I personally listen to both. I used to be a lyric person, and I was very picky about the sound of the music I listened to. Like, I'm not a genre person, but I would, like, just not listen to artists because of the sound of their voice. And I still don't in some cases. But once I started doing music, like actually studying it and learning how it works, I got so much into music that I had, like, not been into before because I understood it on a different level. And it's like, now I can listen to, like, My Chemical Romance and appreciate that the work that they do is actually, like, artistically good, like, from an artistic and, like, a musicianship perspective. And so I have a different perspective on the music in general that I wouldn't get otherwise, which is nice. Like, it's nice to connect on that other level. But yeah, I really, like, I keep saying this. What I needed to do is set an actual date in stone and just release some acoustic versions of my songs as an EP, because it's easier to do that. Or I need to take time off school and grind and work and then release a fully mastered EP, which, again, takes time and effort that I don't have the self-motivation for right now. Taking music next year, so when I actually know some stuff, I could give you a hand if you aren't sure about some parts. Aw, thanks, bud. That's really helpful. I mean, the part that I'm really worried about right now is, like, something that, honestly, actually I sent it in the Discord. I sent it in the Clover SMP Discord. There's an audio clip in the art channel that I sent that has the part that I'm unsure about. If you want to listen to that and give me your take on it, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, I can't read that. Hold on. There we go. The way I listen to music changed dramatically after my accident. I used to be a lyric snob and followed the melody heavily. After the hearing loss, I feel bass lines and rhythms and warmth and tone. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole Beethoven thing, right? Like, he wrote really, really great stuff being deaf because he listened, he felt the vibrations. And, like, that's an important part too. Like, the vibes have to be right. And I think reading lyrics can be good and it can be bad when it comes to experiencing a song. I do with some songs and I don't with others. I used to do it a lot more. I think that being a lyric snob, though, is an excuse not to connect as much with the music. Because it's an intellectual version of how you experience music. And, like, that's not a bad thing, but, like, the emotional connection is weakened when you have that intellectual connection. A masterpiece, in my opinion, has both, or is the ability, like, the reason I like 21 Pilots, which is my favorite band, is because I have an intellectual connection with a lot of their lyrics. But when it comes to, like, the emotional resonance of some of their songs, being so intellectually in tune with it has kind of limited me from being able to experience it all the way, and I kind of have to turn my brain off to feel the full, like, but then also the musicianship is good, so I'm able to do that. It's good as is. It gives me the end credits of Adventure Time vibe. I have never watched Adventure Time, but I will take that as a compliment. Okay. I mean, I guess if Semi says it's good, then it's good. It's just about that confidence, man, you know? Did you listen to it all the way through? Sorry, I'm getting specific here. Nom, for context. This is the song I was working on stream, the George Not Found one. I was doing it for class. I ended up asking for an extension because my mental health has been very not great. But I think that the vibes are right. I just have to work on the mixing and the mastering of it. Maybe give it a bass line. I'm not sure. I just need to finish it. I have the song written. I just need to finish recording it. I don't know what to do for the bridge yet, but I usually figure that out when I come to it. My bridges are cheating. I cheat on bridges. I need to listen to some songs with good bridges and copy some because mine are cheating. I'm not completely deaf, but I have mild hearing loss. But yeah, words occasionally fall for me. But if a voice makes me feel something, I tune in a little more. I especially like it from 114 onwards. That's poggers. Semi, that's poggers. Nom, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, Nom. Also, Nom, I'm glad to have you in my chat because I appreciate, like, I've been thinking a lot about, like, ableism and stuff like that, and so having, like, a disabled person in my chat is really, really helpful for context. I appreciate your perspective because it broadens my perspective on stuff and, like, makes me think differently about the content I make and stuff, so it's really cool to have you here. I appreciate you. Can't help too much with the music part. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Is this live? Yes, it is. Hello, Mata Brains. Welcome. It is indeed live. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We're just chilling out. I'm talking about some stuff, trying to get into a sleepy time mood because it's about bedtime for me. Well, I say bedtime. I'll probably end up doing homework, but well, yeah, let's let's gaslight Mata Brains. This is not live at all. I'm good. What is this? Where did you come from, Mata Brains? How did you find my stream? I'm curious. What video were you watching before this that brought you to my presence? So excited. Just browsing lives. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Yeah, super happy to have you. Feel free to like and subscribe. Oh yeah, anybody who's watching, if you could drop a like on the VOD. I don't know what that actually does, but it might be. Ableism is a weird thing. I grew up in both worlds, able-bodied and disabled. I can get by without much support, but I can see the divide between them. That's so true. Why does this man love his capital so much? That's a good question. Also, we don't know Matterbrain's gender. Matterbrain's pronouns? Question mark? I was called ableist the other day, and it really hit different because I am disabled in, like, a lot of ways, and I've grown up around disabled people for, like, my whole life. Like, my mom works with them. And so it's like, what do you mean? And so I had to do some thinking about how I view certain things, and it really, like, hit different because I had to completely recontextualize, like, a lot of, like, things that I didn't intentionally think, but things that you're trained to think by society, like things that you learn from media and stuff. And it mainly just got me thinking that there's just a lot of nuance. Disability is a spectrum, and it's kind of an annoying spectrum because it looks different for everyone, and everybody needs different accommodations and stuff. I'll PvP in real life. I was gonna say do it, but, like, I'm not gonna condone that. That's on you. Let it be known in my chat that I do not condone IRL PvP. If it happens, tell me who wins, but I'm not betting on this horse. Is Mata Brain still here? I hope so. If not, peace and love. But if so, how was your day? That's a good question for chat. Nom and Semi, how was your day today? What was the best thing that happened today for you guys? I condone IRL PvP. I sound like a hearing person and occasionally get called out by some in the deaf community, but I get looks often by hearing folk when I adjust my aids mid-conversation. Yeah, it's a weird divide. It's a weird line to cross. Like, and especially, like, when communities are so firmly divided in some cases, like, this is not the, like, disability community, but with, like, LGBT stuff, like, being trans is different from being genderqueer or, like, non-binary in a lot of cases, which is different from, like, sexuality and stuff. So, like, you can come into certain spaces with a certain perspective and get completely, like, marginalized just because you don't view things the way that the community has decided, which I don't think is great. I don't think that's a good way to deal with things. I'm not a centrist politically, but I am a centrist philosophically. I think that it's important to listen to both sides of an argument in order to understand why the other person believes that way. I think the only way that you can convince someone to, like, change their mind is by understanding them in the first place. Best part of my day is when I made the egg and noodles and consumed them. That was 20 minutes ago. I also had egg and noodles today. I had ramen and some nice runny yolk, sunny side up egg. No, it wasn't it was over easy? Question mark? Whatever. It was good. Also, like, chicken and stuff. Good noodles. Noodles pog. See, now I have the impulse to go check my stats to see if Matt is subscribed, but I'm trying, after my most recent, like, actual video that I uploaded, egg and noodles equals best food, I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you. After the video that I uploaded, because that kind of, it didn't go viral, it didn't hit 1,000, but it hit 500 views, which is big for me. I did make one video that had 2,000 views, but it got copyright striked because it was about a Chinese ganwa, or I think that's what it's called, danwa. But it got copyright striked, so I took it off my channel because I just didn't want to deal with that. But, like, this video is different because I know the community was watching it. Anyway, I've been looking at numbers a lot different lately, and it's not been the greatest. Like, just watch number go up, endorphin spike. It's not great. Best part of my day, nieces came over, we made some tea blends from my drying flowers and had a tea party. That's so nice. DIY tea party, oh my gosh. Nom, I say this every stream, but that's amazing. Aw, it's awesome. Nice little tea party pog. I'd love to DIY some tea. I've never done that before. I think my mom probably has, though. She's that type of person. We've had, like, peppermint and stuff in the house that we've grown. Chamomile. Whatever. I'm also sick. It's a weird sick where it's like, I don't know if it's more mental or physical, and I can't tell, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, it's probably mental, but I'll give you an antibiotic, so I still don't know. So that's been fun. That just happens to me a lot in the fall, though. It's like my immune system's like, that's enough, shutting down. We're gonna wake back up in January. It's like, thanks. Love my little gremlins. Ooh. It's nice. I made myself some peanut butter toast to eat on stream, but it's been sitting there, and I've realized that talking and eating is not the best. Making tea is simple enough, but it takes some trial and error to make something tasty. Doesn't everything, though? Don't all the best things take some trial and error? I hate trial and error. I hate it. It is annoying as all get out to me. Trial and error is. But, I never said but until I started watching streamers a lot. A lot of them say that. So I've like been clocking myself. I mirror conversation styles a lot of times. So I'll catch myself stealing phrases or mannerisms from people I enjoy. Anyway, what was I saying? Making tea. Trial and error. Yeah, I hate trial and error because it means that I have to fail first, and I feel like everything has such high stakes all the time that like I can't fail safely. Actually, that's why I liked skateboarding. I learned to skateboard this summer, and like it felt so good because it was something I could fail at without feeling like an actual failure. Like I twisted my ankle while skateboarding, and as soon as I was able to, I got back on the board. I mean, I probably waited a little bit longer to heal because I just am like that, but like as soon as I was comfortable, I got back on the board and was skating again. And it took a while for me to actually get comfortable with skating. I was tense and stuff. But, like, once I figured it out, like, now I can skate around like nobody's business. I'm not good. I'm not good, but I can balance. I can do it. I get scared when I go too fast, but at least, like, I can kind of control my speed and I'm balanced and stuff. I need to skate more to get even better. But, like, the initial trial and error was like it took a long time for me to get even that comfortable, like probably at least like 24 hours combined, but I did it with friends and I had a good time, and like that's what matters, and that's kind of freeing. It's currently 10 p.m., which is when I like to tell myself I stopped streaming. This is a nice little like 20 to 30 minute stream. 30 to 40 minutes. Next week, the nieces are coming over to make candy. Rock candy, peanut brittle, English toffee, and pulling our own candy canes. We do it every year for gifts for friends and family. When am I moving to a village in Michigan? Honestly, that's so lovely. That's so lovely. You ever play Pixelmon? No, I have not. Never. That reminds me, that's another thing. Semi's doing PvP and stuff with you guys, because I'm already so bad at it, it's like a failure isn't scary. Like, I already suck, so where can I go for but up? Like, there's something so freeing about genuinely being bad at something, and like knowing you're bad. Because when I know that I'm good at something, or when I know that I'm kind of good, the margin for error is so much slimmer, because it's like the expectations are a lot higher on me. But then when it comes to like things that I suck at, it's like if I get even marginally better, that's an improvement. That's all that really matters. It's like, okay, here we are, you know? You're playing with all my friends that are actually good at the game. It's true. It's true. Oh my gosh. I think Matabrains left a dislike on the stream. Wow. I can't believe this. How disrespectful is that? How absolutely disrespectful. I'm so offended. They didn't like me. Wow. I'm so sad. That's something too that's weird with me specifically. Like, my failure complex comes completely on like my view of myself and like people that I care about. Because like something that I realized is like I just want attention, even if it's negative. I can't believe you've done this. Even if it's negative attention, I'll take it. Oh no, somebody who's better than Semi. Oh no, better get sweaty, Semi, so you can get better. But yeah, I will take, like, I have decent self boundaries, so like there's a certain point where it's like you're just talking to me and that's enough. Like, I'll take any attention as long as it's given. I have boundaries, you know. I won't take like slurs and stuff, but it's like if somebody's just hating on me, I don't really care, like, because I have enough confidence initially to like deal with that. The only time I care about criticism is when it's from somebody I respect, because then it's like, oh no, your opinion matters to me, and I like didn't measure up, and that sucks. I hate that. But if it's just a stranger online, like whoever that person was, give me a dislike, which I think is good for the algorithm anyway, because they interacted with the video. Like, you still gave me some viewer retention, and you interacted in chat, and like, that's all I really need. I'm sure there's probably gonna be a point in it, like, if I continue content creation, there's probably gonna be a point where like hate comments get to me, but like, I don't know. I'm pretty thick-skinned. Actually, yeah, I doubt hate comments will really affect me that badly. I remember one dude, took time to get to that point, but I'm there now. Poggers. I remember for the, oh, Semi, when you put me down though, like, you're usually in like, I don't know. You guys insult as jokes, so I don't take any of it seriously. But if you say something critical, then I take it seriously because I'm learning from you and like PvP and stuff. So I take it positively most of the time. Yeah, I don't really like. I value your opinion because we've actually talked and had conversations, and like you've proven yourself as skilled, which is like, again, like that's what matters. What was I saying? Heck. ADHD pog, drink water. I was saying something. Yes, Semi, you are valued. Especially since you actually like come and are active in chat. That's really cool. I appreciate it. What was the thing I was talking about? I'm so mad. I was thinking about caring about criticism. Valuing criticism. Oh yeah, like this one, like when I was working on the George Not Found song, somebody came in chat and was like, you should take singing lessons. And it's like, well, I do. And like, okay. Enough people in my chat say that they like my voice that it doesn't resonate as much. I may not like my voice when I'm recording and listening to it and editing it. Like, I kind of hate my voice a lot of the time. I'm really insecure about it. Again, from that, like, it's not perfect, or it's not what I want it to sound like perspective. Like, I do not like how my voice sounds in a lot of ways. But I'm constantly trying to learn and get better at it. And so it's like if somebody comes in and tells me my voice is bad, it's like, yeah, and? Like, again, like, yes, tell me something I don't know. Like, that's another one. Like, I'm already so self-critical. It's like, what can you tell me that I don't already think about myself? Better than I could do, so you're doing something right. Thank you. And again, like, I've been taking singing lessons for 4 years. A long time. I've been taking singing lessons and like actively doing music and actively practicing and trying. And so even though I'm not where I want to be, ideally, I'm still better now than I was a year ago, which is really all that matters. The kid was the internet equivalent for a ding dong ditch. That's true. Oh, that is so good. That's perfect. That's what the other person was too. Mata or whoever. The internet equivalent of a ding dong ditch. You show up to somebody's stream, give them a comment that could be perceived as an insult, and then leave when they don't get press. I do also, if I get criticism, I like to do let's sit down and talk about why you felt the need to tell me that. Because if it's a criticism, like, if it's an insult, sometimes if I'm in the mood, I'll be like, so you called me a bitch. Where is that coming from? Who hurt you? Why are you here? Why did you decide to come into my chat where I was not bothering you and call me a mean name? Are you okay? Do you need to talk? Are you having family issues? Do you know any women in your life? Have you talked to your mom today? Do you have a mother who loves and cares about you? I'm sorry if you don't. I really am. If you do have a mother who loves and cares about you, maybe you should show her the comment that you like, I just really like completely dismantling people who are trying to troll. Like, it is genuinely entertaining for me. My favorite thing was, for some reason, on Twitter years ago, I got into an argument with a K-pop stan, or some K-pop stan came into my mentions and was saying something and was like, anyway, stan this person. And I was like, they're kind of cute, actually. What videos should I watch? And they were like, oh, this one. They sent me a playlist and then sent me a few more gifts trying to bother me and then left me alone. Like, I like to get the last word in those interactions. Because again, it's like, I know that you're just hungry for attention, so I'll give you attention. But the attention that I give you is not the time that you want. Like, it's the kind that I want. It's asserting dominance through gentle, what's it called? The thing when you're like an ambassador? Being cordial. Whatever. Some big word. Yeah, knock the wind out of their sails, exactly. It's like, okay, you said that thing. Let's dissect that. And then sometimes you realize that they're just a normal person, like you. And you have similar thoughts and ideals, and sometimes you don't, and you can just forget about them. But either way, you walk out the victor. And if they're just crass or like rude, like to an excessive amount, or if they're mean to people like in my chat, then I just ban them. Like there's a line. Person insult me. Okay, and yes, you're right. What do I do now? That's another good one for like somebody like is like insulting. It's like, so do you have like a constructive, like, do you have an action plan for that? Because I'm down to do what you said. I just need a little bit of further instruction. Like, how do you propose that I get better? Do you want me to get better, or do you enjoy watching me fail, mister? Because if you do enjoy watching me fail, I'll get better just to spite you. But yeah, it's fun. I don't like conflict. And so whenever I see people trying to stir it up, my initial response is like, let's de-escalate this. Let's calm this down. Let's stop this from happening so that there's not any like actually hurtful things that happen. And if I can successfully do that, like a lot of people don't like that on the internet. It's like they're like, you have to completely cut ties, canceled, you can't talk about this, you can't associate with these people. And it's like, if you want, again, like I was saying earlier, if you want to change someone's mind, or if you want to be safe in a lot of situations, and like, I am a exception because I'm not easily offended and stuff like that, but like sometimes all you have to do is sit down and be like, hey, that wasn't cool what you did. Can we talk about why? Can we talk about the fact that you hurt my feelings, and like understand that I'm a person even if you don't agree with me? Because that's the only way to like build any understanding. Like I don't agree with the canceling mentality of like, this person did a bad thing, like let's get rid of them. Obviously, I think there's a difference between a harmful person and an ignorant person. I think that ignorant people can be harmful, but I also think that ignorant people, especially if they have large platforms, have the chance to be, like, make an actual change. But then at the same time, I think that platforming smaller creators that are marginalized is more important. But I don't know, I think there's just a lot of energy put into choosing sides that really doesn't need to be there. Like, your side doesn't matter as much as like the conversation itself, and as long as both people can get something from it and understand that they're like, if you have a conversation with a person and you won't let them speak, or like you won't listen to them, you've already lost. Like, you've lost that conversation because you're not learning. The only time I get heated is if someone insults one of my friends with like this, yeah, exactly. It's like if you are coming in here and you're insulting one of my friends over something that they cannot change, and you're choosing to target them for that, then that means you suck. And, like, get out of here. Like, again, we can have conversations about why that's problematic, but then that comes into the thing of, like, are you actively hurting people that I care about? And that's when I'm cool with, like, cutting ties. It's like, if a person is actively harmful, then that's totally fine. Like, get them out. Like, because your self-worth and your self-value is most important. And your safety. If, like, you're being abused or harassed, like, I'm not gonna ask somebody to, like, have a nice civil conversation with their abuser. But if it's, like, your racist uncle, like, maybe have a conversation. And like, a lot of times they're undereducated, and so if you actually offer counterpoints that are, like, well thought out and understood, then you'll, like, be able to change minds. So I don't jump in for everyone who's disabled, since no longer saying able-bodied. I feel like some people who blow up for me is more hurtful than good. That's really, really, that's true. I see that a lot. Oh my gosh, I see that so much. People getting, like, offended for people and canceling people for people. Like, it's so annoying. Especially in the Dream SMP fandom. I'm just gonna pick on them because I've seen it happen. It's like, somebody will say something and all these people will dogpile and be like, this could be harmful to this community. And, like, nobody from that community is in the conversation. And it's like, can we let those people speak? Because what you're doing is you're further stereotyping and marginalizing a group of people and not letting, because, like, if the oppressed people are the ones, and but even so, kind of seems like some people think I can't stand up for myself, even though I can perfectly well. That's true. It's like, okay, I have my own agency. I am my own person. Yeah, like, if I need help, I will ask for it. That's not always true, but on principle, if I need help, I'm gonna, like, gesture for it. I think allyship is a complicated topic, but a better version of an ally is coming in and offering yourself, and so being like, instead of coming in and just being aggressive immediately, coming in and being like, hey, are you doing okay? And, like, checking on the victim, well, like, you know what I mean, the person being harassed, checking on them instead of immediately targeting the other person. And then if you can communicate with that person, then you are actually, like, being helpful and, like, being constructive. Too shy to ask for help IRL, semi. Someone looks uncomfy and looks for someone, then I step in. Yeah, that's what I do, just in general. Like, that's how I live my life. I'm not great with talking to people who are confident, but I'm absolutely amazing at talking to people who are not confident. Like, I'll walk into a room and see who's uncomfortable and become their friend. It's like, hey, you don't look like you belong here. Let's link up. And then try to, like, build up their confidence and stuff. And it works, and I got a lot of good friends out of that. Yeah. Confident people and normal people, overrated sometimes. But semi, get more confident. If you ever need actual advice on being more confident and stuff like that, I can give it to you. Or I can at least give you what's worked for me in the past. Because I am my tolerance level is very low. I don't put up with a lot. I have very specific boundaries, and if you cross them, then they're crossed, and we're done. Okay, conversation over. That's it. I'm good, actually. Speaking of being good, actually, I think it's about time I end stream. I was just, like, I said this before, but, like, I was watching some Wilbur VODs, and he was literally just sitting up at night talking, and, like, talking with chat and answering questions and talking about himself and stuff. I'm like, I like sitting and talking to people. My favorite move is to talk to the jerks, noticeably turn the aids up and say one more time, but you didn't catch that. Hey, can you be disrespectful a little louder? That's good. That's good. But yeah, I was watching that stream, and I was like, all of the comments were like, I watch this to help me sleep and stuff. And like, I hope that my streams, the minute I know I've made it, which is kind of a weird goal, but like the minute I know that I've made it is like when people are like, I put this on to do homework too, or this like made me feel comfortable, or I listened to this to help me fall asleep, because I know what it feels like to have creators like that, and if I can become that creator for anyone, it means that I have fulfilled my purpose in the world, which is to make other people feel better. Like just helping other people feel better in every context. I just want to help people get better at feeling, first of all, get better at feeling, and also get to feeling better, because they go hand in hand, I think. One of my friends got launched at a wall during physical education by the jocks. I want to PvP him, but at the same time, but no, it's best not to. Yeah, that's true. Cozy casual streams. I also love cozy casual streams. They make me feel good. Yeah, a physical altercation, the best is usually to go to an authority, because ideally the person doing the attacking needs an intervention. Again, I don't think that a person who is like, I don't believe that abusers can't change. I don't think that victims of abuse need to forgive their abusers. But I also think that, like, I think that labeling someone, because, like, I've done things that were sucky consistently without realizing it, and I only realized it with, like, hindsight, and I'm trying to be better, you know? And it's just giving that context and, like, looking at what's a pattern and where that pattern is coming from. Here we go. The reason I support reform and stuff like that is because, like, it's not about reforming a person because I think they're a good person. Like, I'm not, like, defending them. I want to make it so that they don't, like, the problem in the first place is avoided. So it's like, what can we do as a society? We live in a society to make it so that that problem does not occur again. Like, how do we stop this from happening? It can be on a bunch of different levels, but, like, you know, if you're getting, like, pushed around in school, like, there are ways of intervention, and some may work and some may not, but I think that intervention in education is far better than just punishment. I don't think that punishment really works that well. It doesn't work for me. Like, punishment is not nearly as effective as just being like, hey, I'm disappointed in you. Like, hey, that sucked that you did that. Don't do it again. Like, that's much more effective for me. But I'm not everybody. So, that's fair. You're an aggressive man, Semi. Ooh, big aggressive boy. You get all your aggression out in Minecraft? Is that what you do, Semi? It's a good outlet. But also maybe get some calming hobbies that aren't online. Take up poetry or, like, origami. Origami is really good. Do some meditation. Meditation is also very, very good. I was thinking about doing guided meditation for a stream sometime. Like, finding some guided meditation scripts and just reading through them, being like, okay, and now we're going to breathe. Patterns are toxic when they are acknowledged and not changed. Patterns are troubled when acknowledged and unable to change because of it. Patterns are broken when you acknowledge the behavior and actively seek to change. Yes. Poetry? Also yes. Poetry is good. Do I seem like a man who likes poetry? Semi, any man can like poetry. If you don't like poetry yet, you haven't found the right poetry. And that's that on that. And I say this as a person who didn't like poetry. I hated poetry because I was stuck up and conceited, and I was like, I can do better art than this. This isn't good. But then I started looking at it for the emotional context and the meaning behind it, and then I started liking poetry. I mean, Semi, you said you were a lyric guy. Song lyrics, hate to break this to you, song lyrics, literally just poetry to music. Yes, an origami unicorn pog. You can post a pic in the Discord later. Yes, put it in the art channel. I'm so down. That's what I love too. That's my favorite thing about streaming is I want to encourage people to be constructive outside of the stream. Poetry is poggers. True. Semi? I'm right and you're wrong. You are lying. Welcome to the real world, Semi. Also, most famous poets are men. So it's not I hate to tell you, rap especially. If you like rap and hip-hop, I don't know what genre you're into, Semi, but good rap music, in my opinion, is some of the best poetry. The cleverest. I love stuff with double entendres and double meanings, where it's they have puns and stuff in there. That's so good. But it is true. Poetry is poggers, and poetry is worth it. And I recommend you read some poetry critically. You know what, Semi? I'm gonna give you homework, and you don't have to do this, but it would make me very happy if you did. Find one piece of poetry, read it critically, and come back and tell me the title of it and why you liked it. I'll send you General Songs of Vibe 2 poggers. But yeah, I challenge you. This is a challenge. I can't PvP you in real life, but I can poetry versus poetry. I can poetry challenge you. The poetry challenge is to find a piece of poetry, and it can be song lyrics, and engage with it critically, and try to, if not enjoy it, at least understand it. Because poetry is just an art form and a way of self-expression. Eugene Field's Japanese Lullaby and Theodore Rothke's Papa's Waltz. Okay, I'm gonna pull those up real quick. Eugene Field's Japanese Lullaby. Eugene Field, Japanese Lullaby. Japanese Lullaby by Eugene Field. Ooh, 1850, 1895. Yes, please. And Theodore Rothke's Papa's Waltz. Theodore Rothke Papa's Waltz. Let's go. Papa's Waltz by Theodore Rothke. Okay. This is how I'm gonna end the stream, alright? Gonna end the stream by reading poetry. Poetry pog. Here we go. My Papa's Waltz by Theodore Rothke. The whiskey on your breath could make a small boy dizzy, but I hung on like death. Such waltzing was not easy. We romped until the pans slid from the kitchen shelf. My mother's countenance could not unfrown itself. The hand that held my wrist was battered on one knuckle, and every step you missed, my right ear scraped a buckle. You beat time on my head with a palm caked hard by dirt, then waltzed me off to bed, still clinging to your shirt. Aww. I love that. Copyright 1942. Is that the public domain? I don't know if it is. Credit to the author. Very dead by now, but his estate or whatever. Japanese Lullaby, definitely in the public domain though. Japanese Lullaby by Eugene Field, 1850 to 1895. Sleep, little pigeon, and fold your wings, little blue pigeon with velvet eyes. Sleep to the singing of mother bird swinging, swinging the nest where her little one lies. Away out yonder I see a silvery star with a tinkling song. To the soft dew falling I hear it calling, calling and tinkling the night along. In through the window a moonbeam comes, a little gold moonbeam with misty wings, all silently creeping. It asks, is he sleeping, sleeping and dreaming while mother sings? Up from the sea there floats the sob of the waves that are breaking upon the shore, as though they were groaning in anguish and moaning, bemoaning the ship that shall come no more. But sleep, little pigeon, and fold your wings, little blue pigeon with mournful eyes. Am I not singing? See, I am swinging, swinging the nest where my darling lies. Oh, that's good. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. I really do. Did Semi send me a poem? Semi sent me a poem. And you know what I could do? Is, especially if they're in the public domain, I could write songs and make the poems the lyrics. I could do that with Japanese lullaby. It's very, very musical. I love it. Okay, so this is Isaac Watts. What's the name of the poem, Semi? Text it to me. What's the name of the poem? What's the name of the poem? Come on, come on, come on. I want to credit the credit the poem. What's the name of the Isaac Watts one? He's Googling. Let's see who finds it first. Isaac Watts. You close the tab. Oh no. Go to your history. It's in your history. Why should I join with those in play? Why should I join? Found it. Ooh. Okay, hold on. That's a really cool title. It's called... I like that. Why should... Against Evil Company by Isaac Watts. Suggested by Semi. Thank you, Semi. Why should I join with those in play, in whom I've no delight, who curse and swear but never pray, who call ill names and fight? I hate to hear a wanton song, their words offend my ears, I should not dare defile my tongue with language such as theirs. Away from fools I'll turn my eyes, nor with the scoffers go, I would be walking with the wise, that wiser I may grow. From one rude boy that used From one rude boy that's used to mock, to learn the wicked jest, one sickly sheep infects the flock, and poisons all the rest. Ooh, that's really good, Semi. Semi has taste. Look at that. Look at that. I really enjoyed that. Man, this is so nice. Hold on, I'm adding these to my poetry folder, which I actually have. It only has like 2 things in it, but they're going in here. That would be a really fun stream idea. It's like a normal stream, except instead of like, it's like a song request stream, except instead of doing song requests, I can do poetry readings because I actually don't have to know the poem to do that. Like, it makes it a lot easier. I'm definitely down to do that. That would be so much fun. Poetry reading stream. And doing it for like a subathon thing where you like you submit, like you donate money and you're like, read this poem, and I'm like, okay, read The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Like, I'd be so down. Okay, that's a perfect end to the stream though. And I'm definitely gonna read poetry on stream again if I don't bother me about it. If I do not read poetry, bother me about it in the future. But yeah, that was a really good poem. That was very fun. I haven't done a lot of poetry, and it felt good to read. So, thanks guys for hanging out on my sleepy stream. Watts must be an English writer. Don't recall him as an American poet. I don't know. Isaac Watts. Google him. Yeah, it's bedtime. Time to go to sleep, or at least do sleepy time things. Hope you sleep well if it's sleepy time, and if not, I hope the rest of your day is lovely. And, yeah, thanks for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it.